Um, Welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. Oh, I'm not even sure. I guess I just want to start by saying that clearly we're outside. It's windy. I have no clue what the sound or what the audio is going to be. But I just don't understand this whole microphone thing, and I just also don't want to be inside. We've been spending a lot of time just outside, watching birds and clouds. It's like the only thing that is appealing to me recently, but I'm also just in a way feeling very vulnerable because I'm outside and my one neighbor could at least see me, and I'm talking into this microphone, and I have my camera or my phone set up on a tripod, and it's just a dragonfly just flew by. So we are going to let go of that judgment, because I there is a part of me that cares, but there's a bigger part of me that really doesn't. And now that our insecurities are out of the way, kind of, I know this is not my regular content, which is tarot, and I do have a tarot deck here. Maybe I'll pull a tarot card, maybe not. I went back to see when the last tarot video was that I posted, and I want to say it was April 17th. And interestingly enough, or not actually, Uranus moved out of Taurus on April 25th and into my 12th house, and I really have not even touched tarot. Oh, look at a little finch at the water bowl. You brave little thing. Kinda. I really haven't consumed tarot content myself. I mean, I have here and there, but I've done, I guess, a couple events with tarot, which haven't really gone all that well for me. And I do just kind of wonder if that's indicative of where I'm at with tarot. I really don't fucking know. I mean, of course, I want to assign a meaning to it to for my brain to understand. But at the same time, I'm I just don't have the space or the mental capacity to even fucking care. Just I'm not saying, I'm not saying that I'm giving up tarot or anything like that, but I don't know. I mean, it's definitely something that is changing for me. And I just don't know how, what, why, you know. But I do think that it is because like I'm just going to call it Uranus because that's just what comes out of my mouth. I really do think that it is because it has moved out of Taurus and into Gemini. And Taurus, whoop, let me just kind of resituate my dog and I think it's kind of funny when they like notice that I'm here, and like immediately take off. Anyway, this is what you have to look forward to if you're not 40 yet. I just turned 43. This is what you have to look forward to because like bird feeders and having a little bowl for a bird bath, like it just kind of sneaks up on you. But oh my God, it's like the best time ever. And then you download the Merlin ID app and you're like, that sounds like a different bird. And you like open the app. Anyway, so yeah, so for me, Taurus is in the 11th house, friendships, communities, aspirations, hopes and dreams. And I learned through other people that, and I didn't even learn this until the end of the transit, which makes sense because at the beginning of it, I didn't really know shit about astrology and I wasn't even interested in it, really. But I was like trying to remember. I think Uranus went into Taurus in 2018. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like that was like a period of my life where like I was like in the middle of one thing falling apart on one side and the another thing falling apart on the other side. It was like right in the middle of that. Like the year before I divorced my husband that I was married to for 8 months. I moved a bunch of times until I got settled to like where I'm at now, and I'm grateful that that happened before I was priced out of it, basically. And what I also really just kind of find interesting too is that this house that I'm in, it separated me from really like everybody that I knew or that I know that I hung out with at the time. And at the time I thought like I would be, I don't know. I don't really want to make this like super duper fucking like this super duper long thing because whatever. I'm starting to judge myself in my own head. Like that's kind of where all that's coming from, like the stuttering and like, oh, I don't want to. Like who fucking cares? I guess like how long this is. Like don't watch it. I don't know what to tell you. Like, who cares? But yeah. I was talking about Uranus going into like the 11th house. I moved. And like 2018 was definitely where I I reconnected with this mentor of mine who I was out of touch with for a few years, in part because I was married and in part because he was like, this guy is terrible. But I was just very much in a, I have to prove that somebody can love me, or like, you know, I have to prove that somebody can stand to be around me. Well, I did not prove that, actually. I proved the opposite. But where that brought me to, like, why the fuck do I care? And why, like, where does that part of me that needs that, you know? And what is the part of me that would literally push myself into a legal contract with somebody? Hang on. Oh, I thought my dog was going to try to jump off of me. But like, what is that part of me that would literally push myself into a legal contract with somebody who fucking hates me? And now I have to file legal documents to like separate myself from this person. So it was like in 2018 is when I started to unpack all of that. And when I tell you that every single one of my relationships was affected by the Uranus transit through the 11th house. So if Uranus is going through your 11th house now, just know and be prepared that literally every single relationship that you have is going to be affected in one way or another. Good, bad. Otherwise, it's going to either make it stronger or it's going to completely dissolve. Which I guess like the word dissolve is more like Neptune's area, but yeah, I mean every single relationship. And it was more of like just recognizing me in relation to another person. Like, what am I doing and why? And what am I getting out of it? You know, it was a lot of like, I don't know if like checks and balances is the right word, or it was a lot of like reclaiming my own energy and like recognizing where I was leeching energy. And again, like I said, like just not getting the same in return. But also a lot of recognizing like why I was doing that in the fucking first place. Like, again, you know, like how did I end up in an 8-month marriage with somebody who should have remained an ex-boyfriend? Like there were like so many should haves. Like I should have not moved into his house the day that I should have moved out. Days later, like I should like but also like all of those shoulds really did like really did actually create the most awakening for me, which, I mean, they call Uranus the Great Awakener. And the 11th house being also, aspirations, hopes, and dreams. Like, it really did change what I thought I wanted and what even was an aspiration. I was a full-time, like, corporate employee at the beginning of that transit. Oh my gosh. So it's been like hours later. I have no idea where I'm going to like insert this in the video. Like, I wish I would have thought about this earlier, but whatever, it is what it is. I thought about like maybe just making a separate video, but why? Like, no. I will probably repeat myself in some ways. So I apologize, like for that. But one of the things that as I was editing the video and I was literally getting ready to upload it to YouTube, it's literally even taken me that long to like go back and forth with myself about uploading it or not. But honestly, like, fuck it. YOLO. It is what it is. My intention making it was to post it to YouTube. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, one of the thing that I remembered was that one of the big changes that happened for me kind of at the beginning of the Uranus transit is that I have been celibate since 2018. When I was like listening to the Uranus video on the Astrology podcast, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I feel like this Uranus transit like kind of started hitting these places for me like literally a year prior to when it actually went into Taurus. And I like pulled up the date that I separated from my ex-husband, and I'm pretty sure it was like right around that time where in the Placidus side of things, it did enter into, it was still in Aries, like Uranus was still in Aries, but it had gone into my 11th house already. Because like just how all of that kind of went down too. But after like all of that was settled, I reconnected with somebody from my past and we started hooking up again. And I love when these like little finches and these little yellow birds like get brave and they like come over to the water bowl, because pigeons are like the scariest bird. Like they will land and then they'll like see you there and then they'll like scurry off for being as big as they are. But I probably shouldn't judge them for, they really should probably be afraid of humans like what we've done to them. But anyway, so I started hooking up with this person again, and it just was not a good, it just was not a good situation. I was not in a good place in general, like mentally, emotionally, physically. I wasn't really treating myself all that well, and he wasn't either. Like it just wasn't a good fit, like it never was really. But anyway, like in the middle of hooking up one night, it was September 8th, 2018. Literally, like I had this awakening. I'm going to call it an awakening because I don't even know what else really to call it. But we're literally in the middle of hooking up. And I like just get this like vision, or like it's just like this recognition of the energy that I'm allowing to literally be inside of my body. And I know that this isn't a good person for me. I know that it's like not going to go anywhere. I don't want it to. I was like kind of done with it anyway, but like just couldn't, you know. And so, oh my God, like, so I had this whole thing, and just this body reaction to, oh my God, like this energy is inside of my body right now. And I was just like, all of a sudden I was like, I gotta go. And he was like, what, wait, what? I literally jumped up, got dressed, and left. And I haven't been touched by anybody since then. And I also, like, I think it was even like with my ex-husband, like, that was another person who, oh, it got like crazy windy. Like, hello? Are we, are we touching on something here? Even my ex-husband, and actually, like, my hips started hurting really bad during sex with him, to where like I couldn't even, I like, I just couldn't even do it for very long. And it, like, I feel like that was, you know, a fucking message, you know, like, it definitely could have been age or whatever, but like, I feel like it's like something where literally, I mean, my body was like rejecting, you know, and I didn't get it. A message was not received at the time. But anyway, so yeah, like, that was something major that happened at the beginning of the Uranus transit. And I really, like, I have no intention of changing that either. Like, I really have no intention of dating, or I really have no interest in it. And I never really have been anyway. Like, even when I was younger, I was just like, I don't get it. I don't understand the appeal. I don't understand, you know, why, how people lose themselves, you know, like in their relationships, or, you know, whatever. I just didn't really get it. And then as I got older, like, it just kind of became like a thing of, you know, like, that's what people were doing. And that's how you kind of prove that you're lovable, or that you're wanted, or whatever, you know. And I tried it, and it's like, you know, I've never been more lonely than when I was in a relationship, and I've never been more invisible, actually, than when I was in a relationship. And half the shit that I have done over the last 8 years, I wouldn't have done if I was still in that relationship. And sure, I mean, maybe never say never. Like, I don't know. I just don't care. Like, if it's something that never happens for me, where I never, because I just mentioned this to my friend the other day. I'm like, I am, part of me is like kind of curious, like what type of a person it would take. Or, if that type of person even exists, that is my person, who knows? But for now, I am like content. I'm happy. I'm not missing anything, you know? And is there anything else I wanted to add before? And of course, I'm not saying that, like if Uranus is going through your 11th house, that you're going to wind up celibate, but it could. In whatever, like capacity, that's just, like what happened for me. It's just interesting the timing of it. It's fucking hot now. It was nice earlier. It's fucking hot now. All right. Also, and now I'm not. um and I just like I cannot I know that like I just cannot go back to that kind of environment either. I kind of lost my train of thought, but like what was I saying? Every single one of my relationships was affected, like anyway. Instead of trying to backtrack, I'll just keep moving forward, but also like the friendships that I do have are amazing, like there were people who left, and that's final, like there's no coming back. There's a relationship that did come back. There's two relationships that I can think of anyway, whatever, that did circle back around, and were great, and even a lot of, again, just lessons for myself in my how I show up and how I am and who I am, like even in those relationships as well. Towards the end of the transit, and actually right when Uranus came up to my Chiron, I have a 27-degree Taurus Chiron and a 28-degree Taurus Sun. I don't know. I attended, or I showed up at this event at this community local to me, that has become really fucking important to me in the last year. And truly, I don't even think that it would have been anywhere on my radar had the prior 6 years not happened, or had the prior 7 years, I guess, like not happen. I left my corporate job in March of 2021. Like when the pandemic hit, I just started stashing cash. Like, the Taurus thing, I guess, of, I don't know if that is a Taurus thing, but, hang on. Whoop, hang on. Oh, jeez. Did you hear him like kind of wipe out a little bit? Like that's what I was like trying to prevent. I was trying to prevent that from happening. Um but anyway, yeah, so I left my corporate job in March of 2021, and when the pandemic happened, I was just like, okay, this is it. Oh my gosh. Um that's one of the downsides of like being outside is like the distractions. But thankfully, I mean, I'll edit out. I'll edit out anything. But yeah, when the pandemic hit, like I was like, this is it. Like I had been wanting to leave that job for years prior. I was trying to find a different job that was not, those efforts were not paying off. And I mean, whatever, the opportunity arose, and I left that job in March of 2021, and it's almost like that's kind of like what started the journey of like complete uncertainty and like the things that Taurus hates the most, not being stable, not being certain. And in the realm of human design, I have the left angle cross of uncertainty. And so, like, I'm not ever really going to be sure about fucking anything, but that doesn't mean that, like, my brain's not going to freak out about it. I actually think that this, like, Uranus transit kind of, like, exasperated any OCD tendencies, symptoms. I don't even know what the words are, like the like, clinical words or whatever. Like, I don't know what they are, but oh my God, my fucking boob was hanging out. Oh fuck, that is hilarious. Okay. um oh fuck. Okay. And of course it would be like on the one side where like um my neighbor has like one window on that. So anyway, um hilarious. That was an amazing laugh, actually. I needed that. Oh fuck. So anyway, yeah, so I mean, like, leaving that job, um I don't know. It's honestly kind of cool to like think back to that was only 5 years ago. And I mean, truly, just like how different of a person I am, and like where I'm at, and the difference in that too. Like, I had no fucking plan. I was just like I just knew that I could not keep myself in that environment. Like I actually think that I caused like trauma to my body by staying in that environment. I know that I fucking did, because I became a type 2 diabetic. My blood pressure was off the charts. It literally just felt like I was like taking daggers to my chest every single fucking day. I was like, I just, like, I wasn't suicidal, but I just kept thinking about that. Like, just, God, just was so anxious. And it's really interesting too, because I mean, like, that was not a time at all, and it still isn't, to like leave the stability of a job, right? But I was like, if the thing that was holding me back was money, which is a Taurus thing, I feel, like just the resources and materials, and of course money. Then, like, that's why I just started squirreling it away and just started stashing cash. I did that before I left my ex-husband too. Like, we went to marriage counseling, and after the first session, or within the first session, I was like, okay, I just need to start stashing cash, because like I need to be prepared to get the F out of H soon, and that's what I fucking did. I started stashing cash. I started working overtime. I was civil, in that time also, like, I put down my dog that like grew up with me pretty much. I mean, I got her when I was, actually, interestingly enough, I got that dog in my first marriage. Fuck. I got that dog. Lily was her name. She was fucking amazing. She, like, definitely my soul dog. I think Ziggy is too. I think all dogs are. I think all fucking animals are. But I got Lily when I was married the first time, when I was 19. And then a couple months later, we separated. And then, interestingly enough, I put her down a month and a half before I wound up like leaving my second marriage. That's interesting. That is interesting. I don't even remember why I started even talking about that. Oh, but stashing cash. But anyway, I mean, I lived off that money that I squirreled away. Like, I lived off that money for, wait, almost 3 years. I started this YouTube channel at the end of 2021. I started actually learning tarot in 2018 as well. Like I bought my first tarot deck while I was still married, because like I've been getting tarot readings for a long time. I mean, like my mom had gotten like some psychic readings, and my cousin and really good friend of mine, um, like she always had a psychic, or like there was this angel lady at her house. Like anytime we would go out to visit them, um, so there were people local to me that I was getting readings from, and then it was like it dawned on me that I could read tarot, like that I have an interest in like reading tarot. So I think like I was in my 30s then. Um, so I bought my first tarot deck, which was the Good Tarot, and it was not a good tarot. It was not a good first deck, because I like opened it, I like pulled a card, and I was just like, I can't actually do this right now. I could not do this. I like tried to read the guidebook, like I just was not in a good place to like try to figure out tarot, you know? So I found that tarot deck though, like of course just like unpacking and getting organized and whatever, and I bought a couple other tarot decks that were just more, I guess, traditional, like to learn the meanings. I had a notebook. I wish I still had that notebook, and like part of me thinks that it's got to be somewhere, because I can't imagine that I would have gotten rid of it, because I can hoard sentimental things, like huh. But I don't know now. I've gone through almost everything in this house and I haven't found it. But I had a page dedicated to every tarot card, and I would just go through all of the guidebooks that I had, and I would write down the keywords, and I would Google keywords for each tarot card, and anytime somebody would share their perspective of a card that I was like, oh shit, like love that, or it was just added nuance to the meanings of the cards, and I would like write that down. And truly, like tarot, I feel like it like helped me organize my thoughts and my feelings, and if I was having a hard time like mulling over things, or if I was having a hard time I don't know, like getting through something, then, like I would ask, like, what the fuck? And see what cards came out, and then I would journal about them, and I would just, like stare at the cards, and, like, things would, pop out that maybe I hadn't seen before, or again, just like mulling over the meaning of the card, and what that meant for whatever was like currently on my mind or in my heart or whatever. And then it got to a point where I wanted to like share that with other people, so like I started pulling cards for my friends, my cousin and bestie that I was talking about. Like I would pull cards for her. Like she would ask me She would send me requests, like with questions, and I would pull cards for her, um, and then I started the YouTube channel, and now I need to go pee. So BRB. Okay, it's only been 36 minutes. Man, I thought it had been at least an hour. So okay. Just blabbering along. But yeah, so then, I started the YouTube channel. And I actually, like a couple months ago, I went back and watched the first videos that I put out. And I actually, like, I did leave a comment under each one of them too. Like, future me to, like, past me, I guess. Or present me to past me. Right? I guess. Because, like, I was so fucking nervous. Oh my God, I was so nervous to post those. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I like went back and rewatched them, you could not tell at all. At least like I couldn't. And I'm like, man, like again, at the time, and I think it was like, I think I maybe released those like December of 2021, and they were for January of 2022. I might have actually even pulled the astrology for them, and if I didn't, I need to. Anyway, yeah, so I went back and watched those and was just really surprised that because I thought I was going to be embarrassed, or I thought I was going to, I don't know. But what I ended up being was like really fucking proud of myself, because that bitch was nervous as hell. I had a computer, well, I had a cell phone that like could like barely had the space to hold like one video on it, for one. So I could only do one video at a fucking time. And then I like couldn't figure out how to get them from my phone to my laptop that also had no fucking space on it. Of course, I wanted to like edit out, any just like dead air, or any, stuttering that I do, or, I mean, my Virgo moon like wants it to be fucking perfect, and I couldn't do that, because for one, I couldn't figure out how, and for two, I didn't have the space on my phone or on my laptop to like download a video editor, software, anything. I was using a folding table at the time, like, but at the time, and I'm not, like, I'm not, oh, I was using a folding table. Like, I'm not saying, what my point in saying that is, I fucking did it. I did it on a fucking folding table, because that's what I had. I set up my little folding table in my dining room. I got rid of my dining room set, which I'm like, I could have just used that table, but no, I couldn't, because it was a fucking dining room table. I got rid of that shit. I had a folding table, and I had a fucking deadline. I was just like, if I don't do this, like I'm just gonna drive myself fucking crazy. Thinking about it, and I'll figure out the other shit as I go, I guess. Like, I did eventually get another table. Like, I got the table that I have now, which has been, my work table, my I mean, I guess it's like a fucking desk. Whatever. And it's perfect. Like it has outlets in it. Um, it has wheels on it, you know? Like it really is perfect. Um, I've like, I've changed up my aesthetic a few times, I guess, like just kind of trying different ways to be, I don't know, appealing, aesthetically appealing, I guess. Um, I opened an Etsy store in 2022 that did it did well enough for a year. I actually closed it um, at the end of 2024, and I like deleted all of the listings. I donated all of the like remaining product that I had. I donated it to the community that I mentioned earlier, because I felt like I was complete with it. Like I didn't want to continue. I mean, that's also, I guess, just kind of the thing with like Uranus going through the 11th house. Like, I mean, I did try things. I started selling plants in 2023 out of this coffee shop. That was, I think, when Jupiter went into Taurus. Like literally around that time that Jupiter went into Taurus is when I started selling plants, and literally at the end of like I think the week before Jupiter went into Gemini, the coffee shop closed, like out of nowhere. They gave people a 10-day notice, and closed. And so I'm in there trying, like, oh my God, my whole garage was full of planters. My whole house was full of plants, like, and I was in there almost every day just trying to offload plants, and because I also felt complete with it. Like I didn't feel like I wanted to do it in a different coffee shop or do it like somewhere else. I think that might also be like very Pisces MC, like changing things up, or I don't know. At least that's what I've heard about a Pisces MC is like not only finding it very, very difficult to like find your niche, but like just cycling through things. But I started the work that I do now. I started that at the end of, actually, speaking of 2023, I got this part-time job at like in April, and I think that there was an eclipse in April. I got this job, and literally I left that job on the next eclipse. Look at these fucking jets. Man, I really am privileged to be able to just be fucking sitting here on my fucking deck reminiscing about this shit when like people in other areas of the fucking world are being murdered. And like just hearing the sound of that jet, I'm like, that's somebody's fucking reality all the fucking time. So, yeah, free Palestine. There's all these dragonflies like flying around. I don't even know the last time I've seen a dragonfly. I mean today, obviously, but like I don't know the last time I saw dragonflies. I'm gonna have to remember to look up the meaning of that. That's the one thing about not having my phone in my hand. I can't just like look shit up. But yeah, 2023, like I started that part-time job on an eclipse and I left it on an eclipse as well. And then I started doing the work that I do now. Still. Hang on. Get some water. What you hearing? Something? Anyway, I really do not know the point of me just sitting here telling you all of this. I think it is like in part because, you know, I mean, this channel has been in the back of my mind, like off and on, like what, you know, what do I want to do? I mean, my Instagram for Heretic Owl, I don't even, I'm never on there. I've honestly just kind of abandoned it. And I think it's like because I just don't know what I want to do with it. And I think that's kind of where I'm at with YouTube. Like, you know, the last videos that I put out, like the ones by color, I mean, like that was really fun, but I was just like, I just can't keep doing the zodiac and I can't keep doing the human design profile. And I also think that it is another thing of what am I getting out of it? Like how much am I putting into it and what am I getting out of it type of thing. And I think even like with the colors, like it ended up just kind of turning into maybe a little bit of like, it kind of turned into like the chakra colors, with black and white. Hey! Sorry, scared me. Hey. Jeez. Sorry if that startled you too, if you heard. I'm assuming that you can hear all the shit that's like going on. Because like I don't know how to like tweak this microphone. I don't know. But but yeah, I just I think that's kind of what Uranus leaving Taurus has kind of left me at a space of, you know, and I think that's also just like the biggest lesson I learned too was me in relation to something else, you know, a job, a space, a community, a friendship, a relationship. What am I putting into it and why? Right? Like, and what am I getting back in return? And for the longest time with YouTube, I was posting because I fucking love doing tarot readings. It gave me an opportunity to grow my understanding, my connection even to tarot, even if one fucking person would watch. I mean, you know, like most of my videos get like, you know, less than 10 views. But even then, you know, like I fucking, it was probably the only consistent thing that I did other than exist for, you know, the last 5 years is post YouTube videos almost monthly. And I think, for one, I mean, I think that's awesome that I did that because me and consistency don't. We're usually not in the same room or in like the same conversations. So the fact that I did that and that I wanted to, you know, but also at the same time, like the underlying thing, like the reason why I also kept showing up was because I did want this channel to grow. And ultimately, I did want to be able to monetize it because it all comes back to stability. And I think that might be a reason why maybe it didn't grow, was because I wasn't really, I don't know. I'm like, I almost said that I wasn't showing up authentically, but I think I was as authentic as I could have been, I guess. I definitely have a visibility wound, and I definitely know that that contributes to every single fucking thing that comes out of my mouth, or every single, like it's really hard for me to just, I don't know. I don't even know what the words are. Like it's, you know, it's really hard for me to show up like this in this context where I'm like literally the video is just, you know, panned over to, like, where'd the birds go? It's like their lunch break, I guess. I don't know. But, and just sit here and yap about nothing in particular, you know, like, geez, like these gusts of wind, like I'm like afraid that it's like gonna knock everything over. But yeah, I also really just kind of feel like I am dealing with a lot of subconscious limiting beliefs, like how very on brand for the astrology. Now that, Uranus is in my 12th house, I have Mars. I have a 2-degree Mars. So, I don't know if you consume, astrology content, like you might have heard people talking about the Mars and Uranus conjunction that's happening at the end of this month, or maybe it's July 4th. And I'm pretty sure that's at 3 degrees. Or is it 4? It might be 4 degrees. But days before that, they're going to go over, like my Mars in Gemini. So I'm like going to have a Mars return with Uranus there as well. And the thing that has really been like coming up for me lately is visibility. And that was actually my word for the fucking year, actually, which is kind of hilarious. I think the year prior, my word was intention. And then I had that like gnarly DMT experience that was all about intention. And that happened like at the end of the year. So better late than, late in the year than never. But like, yeah, so my word for the year this year was visibility, because I fucking know. Like, I know that I have this visibility wound. And I really have no fucking clue what to do about it. That's not true. Like, I think showing up in this way is really good for it, even though like I'm not visible. And it's not like visibility as in like seeing me, like, granted, I also don't really want to be perceived, like I would love for people not to see me. And ultimately, like, really what it comes down to is, I don't know, it's like, it's like a lifetime of thwarted intentions, or it's like it's a lifetime of being misunderstood, and it's like a lifetime of any kind of like positive visibility that I did have, and being punched down almost immediately, like, and also why that was even the focus, like why focus on being punched down, like type of thing. I also, like, I did EMDR therapy last year, which was fucking incredible. And it's like a precursor to like where I'm at now, like just going into those parts of myself. At the time, I think that was like June or July, because I know I took a break from doing tarot readings around that time, because there was a lot of fucking grief and a lot of just really deep emotions to have to sift through and integrate and give space for, and all of the things. And that was also actually around the time that Uranus was sitting right on top of my fucking Chiron. Like, Uranus was at 27 degrees Chiron, or 27 degrees Taurus. And then it went all the way to, was it 1 degree Gemini before it, like, which was, hey, leave the little pigeons alone. I have to go pee again. So now it has been an hour. I guess I will like wrap this up, because every time I go to the bathroom and I come back, it's like I come back insecure or something. Like, should we pull a tarot card so we can call this like tarot content? Was there anything else I just wanted to like wrap up? I know I was like saying that, you know, Uranus is, and Mars is going to be, I know I'm not going to be able to like think my way through a solution, I guess, or being more visible. I'm really not even sure like what visibility like even means. I guess I want to show up literally fucking anywhere. You know, like I do want to contribute, but I just like I want to do that in a way that is like authentic. It's like I have to like try to figure out a way to like completely forget any conditioning, any, because, you know, like the subconscious, it's not just our minds, right? It's our bodies too. And it's not just these habits and ways of existing that I have been existing in like my entire fucking life, you know, really. And especially because my Uranus opposition is coming up in 2 years, or next year. No, 2 years. I actually did pull that chart, because actually at the same at the same time that Uranus is exactly opposing my Uranus, my Sagittarius Uranus, is at the exact same time that I'm having a Saturn opposition as well. So it's like literally all about visibility, and even, you know, like how I am sharing myself, or how I am like interacting with anybody else. And when I tell you that it's like my body retracts from it. Like, it's literally like this self-preservation thing that, again, like I said, that I've been really honing in and have really fucking perfected over the last 43 years. And not, I mean, let's just say from the age of 7. Because that's, when we come into our consciousness and we're coming out of theta, and I'm not going to go on that tangent. I could. That's our first Saturn square. Like I could, but I'm not, because it's already been an hour. But it really is, like I said, like it's like literally a lifetime of self-preservation. And even though present me, 43-year-old me is like, I got this, right? Like, I am capable of keeping myself safe. I'm capable of recognizing, other people's, like, I literally had to become an expert in other people, like other people's behaviors, as an armor. But now I'm like, okay, how do I let go of the self-preservation and put myself out there and show up differently? And I mean, I just, like, in an instant, I just like resort back to, and I just kind of keep letting myself do that too. Like, I'm really trying to, like, reparent myself through this, like, especially like in the last couple of weeks, like the last month, maybe, well, no, like the last couple of weeks. I just kind of feel like I've even just been limiting, like, even my contact with people, because it's like literally I need all of my energy to just, like, try to focus on baby steps, literally. I mean, like, the micro smallest little fucking steps you can imagine. I'm like, I can't even spare any energy, like, for anybody else. And thankfully the people that love me and cherish me, and that I talk to often, or that I was talking to often, like, they understand, because I mean, we've had this conversation too at some point, but and I did, like, I mentioned to that community that I'm kind of a part of now, like, I mentioned to them that I do Reiki. That was fucking huge. Like, and I stuttered my way through that. Like, I was like, oh my God. But, like, as soon as I got it out, I was like, oh, thank fuck. Like, I'm so glad that I said it. And I was like, I'm so sorry for how strange that was. Like, it literally was that difficult for me to even fucking say it. And you know what? I haven't followed up with it. Like, I haven't done anything else, which I need to follow up. Like, it's not enough to just say it. Like, I do want to follow through with it, but it's like, and it's only been a week since I mentioned it. But still, I mean, like, that is a long time, you know? So anyway, but it literally took everything that I had just to even say that. And it's going to take everything I have to just follow up and be like, hey, you know, I mentioned this, you mentioned that. I just kind of want to make sure that we're, you know, on the same page, or is that actually going to happen, or, you know, whatever. Let's split the deck and see what the tarot has to say. Ace of Cups. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. The Ace of Cups. Beautiful. What a beautiful card, too. So that's a good omen. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and I don't want to be like, you know, I don't know. I just, like, I want there to be something that sets me apart, I guess. And maybe there isn't anything that says, you know, I don't know. I just, like, I feel like this channel has been pretty stagnant for the last year at least. Definitely maybe the last 2. And I don't want to just start doing, like, clickbaity. I say that, but I actually have an idea that is fucking clickbaity. And I'm wrestling with it because I'm like, I don't want to just fucking make clickbaity shit, but if that's what gets me visibility, right? Like, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Like I said, like, I actually do have some ideas that are, like, kind of funny. So yeah, I don't, you know, I will be back. I think the other part of me is, speaking of visibility, I think, like, the other part of me, I don't know. It's like you know, I want it to be like a perfectly, you know, formed, like, thought or idea before I actually will do it. And it never actually even gets to that place until I actually do it. You know, it's like the suit of wands, you know, you learn by actually fucking doing. And I actually did teach intro to tarot class last month in May, learning the tarot cards, which was a lot of fun too. And I'm teaching another one in July. So if you're in the Castle Rock area in Colorado, or in the Denver area, or in the Colorado Springs area, I'll be teaching that at Goldie Links in Castle Rock on July 10th. But yeah, so I don't know. I think I'm literally just going to get through this month and get through Uranus and Mars going over my Mars, and I'm trying to be open to the awakening or the lesson that Uranus, is trying to shake up. So I don't know. And if you have listened this far, drop a comment. I don't even know. Like, whatever. Just, The fuck is that? Do you hear that? It sounds like a fucking drone. Is there a drone? There is a fucking drone. What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? Well, comment drone. And then also message me on Instagram. Well, I was going to say, like, drop a comment. I'll pull a card for you. If you have a question, like a specific question you want a card pulled on, and if you feel comfortable enough to leave that in a comment on YouTube, do that, and I'll respond to you in a comment on YouTube. And if you don't feel comfortable to leave your question publicly on YouTube, then message me on Instagram, heretic.owl, and I'll pull a card for you. What the fuck is with this drone? It's like, it's not over my house, but it's like two houses down. Part of me wonders, like, it could be an insurance company, maybe. Hang on. I do not know. It landed like 2 houses down. I don't know. Maybe some, whoever lives there, maybe they just got a new drone, but what the fuck? Okay. And if you are still here, thank you for giving me the space to just ramble and be like just completely I don't know, just all over the place and distracted and all of the things. And if you're subscribed to the channel still, thank you so much. And if you aren't, you should be. Because yeah, I think I really am just probably going to end up like just posting random, I don't know. I think it's going to be, I literally said earlier, I know that I'm not going to be able to think my way out of, like, you know, visibility, right? Like, I'm not going to be able to think my way out of what I want this space to be either. I know that, like, I feel complete with how it has been. Like, I feel complete with the videos that I've put out and the format and the way that I've done them, and yeah, I don't know. I might just start spamming, but like in a good way, you know? I mean, they are definitely going to be intentional, but just to kind of figure out, like, what's next? What is it going to look like? You know, instead of just abandoning it until I figure it out, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to figure it out by doing different shit, I guess. So, well, it only took like an hour and what, like 20 minutes? I don't even know how long it's been now. An hour and however long to like get to that point. So, thank you. Bye.